All right, so we have been factoring a lot lately. We have factoring using GCF as a method. We have the difference of two squares. We have the diamond method for factoring trinomials. We have bottoms up for factoring trinomials if there's a number in front of x squared. And then yesterday we also learned about factoring by grouping and factoring by cubes. We have one more factoring method today. So for 3.7, we're going to be factoring equations that involve what we call quantities. So factoring with a quantity, there are actually 4 steps here. The first step, and what we mean by quantity, is something with parentheses involved. So there's a problem and there's parentheses in there, and usually that parentheses has a squared or some kind of exponent attached to it. So what we're going to do, step 1, we're going to define a variable to substitute for the entire quantity. You can use x, you can use a, you can use whatever you want. If the problem has x's in it, I suggest that you pick something else besides x. Step 2, after we substitute it back in, we just have to factor. And then step 3, we have to substitute the quantity back into the expression so that we are replacing what we took out. And then sometimes there might be some simplification in there. So we might have to simplify after that if necessary by combining like terms, multiplying, anything like that. So example 1, we have x plus 3 squared minus y squared. So x plus 3 squared, that's going to be our quantity here. And I'm going to let it equal a. So we have to define that. So a is equal to x plus 3. So we just set the new variable equal to the actual quantity. So I'm going to take a and plug it in here. So that's going to give me a squared minus y squared. Now this looks like something we can do. This is a difference of two squares. So let's set up our difference of two squares. One is addition, one is subtraction. The square root of a squared is a, and the square root of y squared is y. Now all we have to do is take x plus 3 and plug it back in for a. So wherever we see a, we're going to plug in x plus 3. So that's going to be x plus 3 plus y times x plus 3 minus y. And we can even leave our answer like that. So then we are done. Example 2. We have 4 times x plus 4 squared minus 36y squared. So my quantity here is x plus 4. So I'm going to let a equal x plus 4. And then I'm going to substitute that in. So this is 4a squared minus 36y squared. And this is a difference of two squares also. But if you notice, I have a GCF. So I'm going to factor out a GCF first to make sure that everything is factored completely. So I'm going to pull out the 4, and that leaves me with a squared minus 9y squared. Now inside the parentheses is still a difference of two squares. So bringing that 4 down, that gives me a minus 3y times a plus 3y. So I just applied the difference of two squares rule. But I can't just leave that as my answer. I have to plug x plus 4 back in. So my answer would actually be 4 times x plus 4 minus 3y times x plus 4 plus 3y. Now inside each of the parentheses there is no combining like terms or anything I can do. And since I'm trying to factor all the way, I leave that GCF outside. So that would be my answer. example 3, we have x plus y squared minus 6 times x plus y plus 5. My quantity here is going to be x plus y, so I'm going to let A equal x plus y. And everywhere I see x plus y, I'm going to plug in A. So this is going to be a squared minus 6a plus 5. Now this looks like a diamond method problem. So I'm going to look for two numbers that multiply to 5 and add up to negative 6. And that's going to be negative 1 and negative 5. So this thing up here factors out to x minus 1 times x minus 5. But I have to plug x plus y back in, or so this should be a minus. So that should be a minus 1 times a minus 5. But I have to plug x plus y back in. So this is going to be x plus y minus 1 times x plus y minus 5. And again, there's no simplification that I can do inside the parentheses. And since my instructions are to factor, I'm just going to leave my answer like that. Example 4. Example 4, we have 2x plus 3y squared plus 7 times 2x plus 3y minus 18. So I'm going to let A equal 2x plus 3y. And that's going to give me a squared plus 7a minus 18. Now this also looks like a diamond method. So I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to negative 18 and add up to positive 7. That is going to be positive 9, negative 2. So this factors to a plus 9 times a minus 2. So plugging 2x plus 3y back in, that's going to give me 2x plus 3y plus 9 times 2x plus 3y minus 2. We still don't have any combining like terms we can do, so we are going to finish that here. Last one, example 5. I have 3x plus 2y squared minus 21 times 3x plus 2y minus 100. So I'm going to let A equal 3x plus 2y and substitute that in. So I'm going to get a squared minus 21a minus 100. So diamond method, two numbers that multiply to negative 100 and add up to negative 21 are going to be negative 25 and positive 4. So this is going to be a minus 25 times a plus 4, which comes out to 3x plus 2y minus 25 times 3x plus 2y plus 4. Inside each parentheses, we don't have anything that we can multiply or add or combine like terms. So since our instructions are to factor, we leave it in factored form, and that is our answer. So again, the quantity is what is inside the parentheses only, not the squared or the exponent, just what's inside the parentheses. You can use any variable you want. Just make sure it's not the same variable as something that's inside one of the parentheses. Typically, I use A. And then make sure to definitely remember to substitute back in to get the correct answer. If you leave your answer as this with the A's in it, you will not get the right answer because you won't be able to simplify if that's a possibility. So tonight, your homework for 3.7 is worksheet 7, all problems. Also, make sure that you remember we have a quiz tomorrow or Thursday. So quiz 2 is on block day, either Wednesday or Thursday. You may use your notes and you may use your homework. So make sure that you bring everything for the quiz on block day. And once again, the homework is worksheet 7, all.